going on? Hi, my name is Tito Rodriguez. I'm a guitarist and I currently play for a classic hard rock and metal cover band called Circle of Four in the New York City area. And I'm here today to talk to you about Blue Rocker Customs guitars. The reason I'm talking is because I want to show you the latest guitar that I added to my collection, which is a custom guitar that was designed by me in conjunction with Andrew Pitts of Blue Rocker Customs. He had been doing some custom paint jobs and started getting into the business of actually designing custom guitars from scratch. So he came to me with some good ideas, and I have a couple of good guitars. I've been primarily an Ibanez player for a long time. And then the idea of having my own custom guitar really appealed to me. So we had a couple of discussions and came up with some good ideas. And after a couple of months, the finished product is right here. This is the Blue Rocker Custom TR7 guitar. TR standing short for me, Tito Rodriguez. This turned out to be a great guitar. After months of collaborating and production, the thing just came out sweet. Basically, what the whole idea was, we designed this body, and basically this body, the shape, is something that we came up with. It's basically half of it is sort of like taking one half of an Ibanez guitar and the other half of a PV Wolfgang and putting them together to make this unique body shape. And has a good balance to it. It also sort of has a feel like a Les Paul, but not quite as heavy. And what I was also going for, I was taking some other aspects of some of my other guitars. We went with a mahogany body. Mahogany is a dense wood, which is very popular in your Les Paul type guitars, as well as Paul Reed Smiths and other high ends. It gives it a nice fat tone. My Ibanez Prestige has that, and I wanted that same thing in this particular guitar. So we went with mahogany body. It has a maple neck and a maple fretboard. All of my other guitars have rosewood, and I wanted something different. So we went with a maple fretboard, which also gives it a brighter sound. The headstock, as you can see, is also a custom design. This was actually designed by Andrew at Blue Rocker Customs. We also decided to go with a reverse headstock, because that was also something different for me. All my other guitars have like a regular headstock. We also went with a one pickup design, a humbucker. See, because a lot of how this guitar came together for me is through a lot of my influences. And probably the biggest influences in designing this guitar were from Eddie Van Halen and George Lynch. A majority of their guitars used one pickup, and I'd say 80% of my playing involves the bridge pickup. So we went with that. Plus it also cuts back on electronics, because the other thing too to consider is if you're sort of on a budget like I was, the best way to cut costs is to simplify some of the electronics and other little features that happen to be in other guitars. Another thing that I just went with was just the volume knob. We have one volume knob and no tone knob. Because, you know, realistically, I always have my tone turned up. I never touched that tone button. So I didn't want it on this guitar. And Andrew also made a good suggestion in giving a little more versatility to the pickup, was to do a push-pull knob. So that way, when I'm playing with the knob up, I'm getting the full effect of the humbucker pickup. That fat sound. Then pull the pickup, and it actually is wired where it turns into a single coil. So you get a little more warmer, thinner, like more of a Strat sound. Plus, by having less pickups, the other advantage is that you have more space in the body area to do some custom paint work, which is also Blue Rocker's specialty. And in this case, we went with a design where we were able to take a graphic of a lion and imprint it on the face of the guitar. So we have the lion, a black background in which you put little pieces of rainbow speckle in the paint. And then, I'll show you quickly, the back side we did an orange starburst. So it gives it a nice contrast. You have the black on the front, which makes the graphic stand out more. And then you have the sunburst on the back and the sides. So all in all, I was impressed. It came out great. I also have, I'm a big fan of double locking whammy systems, so my bridge is a Floyd Rose. And you can work with Blue Rock Customs, you know, on any little detail. If you're a big fan of just regular standard non-floating bridges, he can get you that. In this case, you know, I like using Floyd Rose because I play a lot of hard rock and metal, do a lot of shredding, which is what, you know, this guitar was designed for. And if you're into that style of playing, this guitar could probably fit your needs very well. The body is well balanced, the neck feels great. You can work on with Blue Rocker Customs on the details of the neck, because everyone, you know, has their, you know, their own comfort zone on what type of necks they want to play and what kind of frets. So you can take any neck measurement and he'll get it reproduced for you. In this case, I have an Ibanez Prestige whose neck measurements were a little thicker than your standard Ibanez. So I liked how it felt a lot, and I was able to replicate it on this guitar. Now the guitar itself also, when I have it on clean, it also has a very nice clean balance to it. So when I'm not shredding an overdrive, I can do some nice clean fills. So great guitar. I highly recommend working with Blue Rocker Customs, because, you know, it's a good feeling to have your own creation. Because in this world and also in this economy, sometimes it can be rough getting a, you know, really good high-end guitar. A lot of your Fenders, Les Pauls can get pretty pricey. And if you do a little research, the fact is that the materials that are used to build some of those guitars really don't cost that much. So working with somebody like Andrew and Blue Rocker Customs can really, you know, make a big difference, where you're not only, you know, saving on some money, but you're also getting a great product and something that's your own, that's unique. And this guitars are also very well built. I've already done a couple of shows with them and they've held up pretty well. The other thing too is the Floyd Rose that he got for me also stays in tune very well. And I haven't broken any strings yet either. So this is the TR7 from Tito Rodriguez. Go out and get one. You'll love it.